to freeze. So y'all out there in viewing land, freeze with me. Okay, now we got Bora here. So we're gonna go over to Manny. Open mic, every month Straight Talk does open mic. So you people out there with gifts and talents, hit us up. Let us know. We'll get you in the studio, do your thing. It doesn't matter if you cook, you got some poetry, you might be an engineer, you might be a genius with math. Come and share your gift and talent with us. Right now we're gonna go over to the open mic with Manny. He's gonna poet, do your
Start out with this one. It's called Saying Goodbye. When my life has ended and life's short memory has begun, give my body to the dusty earth and release my soul so I may rest in peace. When my old eyes can't see no more, bury my body by the heavenly shore. But never let me hear you cry, 'cause I will wipe those tears from your eyes as tonight we say our final goodbye.
Let's give Manny a hand on that poet. I'm gonna come over top of you with me, man. Yeah, you reach down there. You're talking about when you leave. Was that about when you leave, when you say goodbyes?
I was saying all goodbye to everyone that I've never known.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Especially the people I've lost and will lose.
How did you get started in poetry?
I started back when I was in high school. I had a good friend named Eddie Barnett. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
Step up to the mic where they can hear you out there in viewing land.
I don't know if you guys heard of Eddie Barnett Jr. Eddie Barnett, who passed away back in 2005 at Grant High School. He had that heart failure in his heart.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah, we know about Eddie, yes.
Yeah, I was one of his friends who got me started on that kind of stuff and basketball, so I still miss him as of today.
I know it. Okay, now would you come back later on and do some poetry for us?
Yes, I will.
Let's give a hand for Manny.
I'm doing excellent.
You know, it's always a pleasure. We missed you last month.
Yes.
People hit me up. Somebody, where's she at? Where's she at? I said, well, she's another one of them international ladies. But what you have for us? You always bless us with some politics and things that's going on. We're honoring Women's Month this month.
Yes.
So please share what you have with us.
Because with this month of March being national, we're celebrating the month of March as National Women's Month.
Okay.
And some of my material, normally I'm freelancing, chatting with you, but it's because a lot of my material is fact I want to share with you. I will be sharing some of it from the records here. Now, my aim today is to celebrate all women from all walks of life for the great contributions that they have made to make America look, think, behave, and respond like it's all of our world and not just, it's a man's world. Okay.
It would be nothing without a woman.
It would be nothing. In my segment of Move Beyond the Walls, since we are more familiar with the current, I'm highlighting women from yesteryears. That means past years. Although there are many historical facts of contributions by all women, the black pearls during those times still remain more so in the background. So today, I want to lift many of our black pearls up also from yesteryear.
Absolutely.
Black pearl, precious little pearl, let me lift you up
Where you belong.
Okay, Women's History Month traces its beginning back to the first International Day of 1911. In 1978, the school district of Sonoma County, California, participated in Women's History Week. They designed around the week of March 8th, which was the International Women's Day. So initially it was a Women's Day. Relative celebrations happened in between those times.
Okay.
Then President Jimmy Carter in 1980 issued a president proclamation declaring the week of March 8th as the National Women's History Week. In 1987, Congress passed a public law, which was a joint resolution, which designated the month of 1987 as Women's History Month. Then resolutions requesting and authorizing the president to do this each year. You know, it makes me wonder, why do they have to do that each year, designated as National Women's Month?
I want to say something right there. Straight Talk each month is going to be honoring a woman. So you out in viewing lands and the audience today, please get us the information, someone that you want to honor, let us know. The board and I will pick the person, and we're going to honor a woman every month.
Every month.
Every month.
Excellent, excellent,
Okay.
excellent.
Thank you.
So my thoughts surrounding that was, did the men, did they feel there was a need to assess women every year to determine, okay, are they deserving to be, to have this year proclaimed as Women's Month? So, finally, the month of March was declared as Women's History Month instead of every month making a decision through Congress to determine if it should be Women's History Month. For so long, women were unsung and their contributions unnoticed. We recognize the achievements, leadership, courage, strength, and love of the women who built America was just as important as that of those men whose names that we know very well. So right now I'm getting close to the end, but I want to point out women's history, some of the women in history at this time. There's so many women just like yourselves, so we can draw pride, strength, courage, and vision from them. Today I'm only going to highlight a few because we'd be here several years to highlight all of them.
We got time. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, all right. The first one I'm going to highlight is
Yes.
Sojourner Truth.
Yes.
Sojourner Truth was an American abolitionist and women's rights activist. She was born in slavery, but she escaped with her infant daughter. And after going to court to recover her son in 1828, she became the first black woman to win such a case against a white man.
Well, let's give her a clap. We know Sojourner here. We're here because of her.
Sojourner,
Yes, Sojourner.
yes.
Yes.
And then Susan B., who has a coin on you today.
Yes.
Then Susan B. Anthony was born in 1820. She was an American social reformer
Yes.
and women's rights activist. She played a pivotal role in the women's suffrage movement in the United States. The legal right for women to V-O-T-E.
Vote.
Vote, yes,
Yes.
She was committed to social equity. She collected anti-slavery petitions at the age of 17.
My goodness.
She became the New York state agent for American Anti-Slavery Society. Women made attempts to vote in the 1870s but were turned away. Susan B. Anthony succeeded in voting, but she was arrested and found guilty for voting.
Oh my goodness.
And in 1920, the 19th Amendment became part of the U.S. Constitution,
Okay.
the right for citizens to vote. But guess who was not considered citizens?
Who?
Black folk.
Black folks. Okay. My
So they
goodness.
made it the right for citizens.
That sounds
which
like what's going on
eliminated
today.
Somebody, yes.
Okay.
And that's another show.
Yes.
The next person I'm going to highlight is Lucy Stone. She was a prominent U.S. orator. And back then, there were not a lot of women who were orators,
Okay.
who spoke and so forth. She promoted women's rights and it was against slavery. Harriet Tubman, whom we all know very well,
Yes.
abolitionist and political activist, born into slavery, escaped and made some 13 missions freeing people, friends, and family to freedom on the Underground Railroad. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, social activist, suffrage abolitionist, addressed issues beyond voting rights, such as parental and custody rights, property rights, employment and income rights, divorce, the economic health of the family, and birth control, even way back then. Dorothy Butler Gilliam, born 1936, was a journalist. She was the first African-American female reporter at the Washington Post. Her fight was to make the media look like America.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ms. Harris, we really appreciate you educating us.
Thank you.
Would you come back and add some more to it each month?
Yes, I will.
Please come back, because the more we know about who we are, the better we can be who we are.
Yes.
Right now, we're going to go over to another one of the poets. Please stay with me for a minute. One of the poets, and he's going to drop some lyrics on us too.
Excellent.
Let's give a big hand for the poet.
What's up, y'all? Y'all doing all right? So yeah, I'm gonna share a piece. I was asked to share a piece to celebrate women, and so this piece is called women with and without wombs. How can I celebrate you with my actions? Women with and without womb. You know, aside from healing my own hurts, which inevitably add more to your wounds. No, but for real, like, question for real, right? And if you're out there and you see me or whatever, like, please let me know, because I really want to know, like, how can I celebrate you with my actions? Like, for real. Women with and without womb, trans women, women that don't carry babies, that aren't able to carry children, androgynous or gender fluid people who appear as women. Women with and without womb. How can I celebrate you with my actions? Women with and without womb. You know, aside from healing my own hurts, so that I can add less to your wounds. Women with and without womb. I appreciate your resilience, your brilliance, and your grace. And I am trying my hardest to emulate your vulnerability in the ways that you show up in space. I said, I honor you, women with and without womb. I honor you, I honor your resilience, your brilliance, and your grace. And I am trying my hardest to emulate your resilience and your vulnerability and how it is that you show up in space. And I so appreciate your beauty in every which ways and form. And I'm trying my hardest to love and appreciate you and appreciate when you are hurt, even though I know that is not the norm. I said, women with and without wombs. I appreciate your beauty in every which way, in which form. And I am working to believe when you're hurt, even though I know that is not the norm. So please, 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 when I'm around, please, please speak your mind. Because I know that your thoughts and feelings are worth more than what's within any mind. Women with and without womb. Women with and without womb. Please, 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 please speak your mind. Because your thoughts and feelings are worth more than what is within any mind. And no, I cannot question your worth based on your complexion. Wait. Actually, yes, I must question how I've been taught to view your worth based on your complexion. I must really ask myself. I must really ask myself. Yes, I must question. Women, honey, almond, and root tone. Why is it that I think that my thoughts and feelings are worth way more than your own? I mean, I must really question women with and without womb. I must question myself. Why is it that when I am around women who are almond, honey, and root tone, why do I think that your thoughts and feelings are worth less than my own?
Join you. Man. Whoa. How you come up with that piece? Let's step up to the mic. Huh?
How I come up with that piece?
Yes. I know I asked you to do one for
Yeah,
one,
you
but
asked me to do a piece.
you dig deep.
Yeah, man. I think that one of the biggest things for me when it's like honoring Women's Month and honoring women's history,
Yes.
I think it's really important that I, as like a person who is a man, recognize that women come in many varieties,
Yes,
right? And it's
yes.
important, especially to understand that like my understanding of gender is not necessarily the reality of gender and the ways that people experience the world. You know,
Well, you expressed it.
I hope to, and I hope to really just share that. You know, it's important to interrogate our thinking,
Right.
not only around gender, but around how gender and race interact in the ways that I as a man am not always, treating women or thinking about women as as humans.
Well, I hope that goes global. I hope that goes global. Would you come back and do another one for us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give us another hand. Now, this is going to be special. This lady, I said she's going global, but she's happy where she's at right now. And we're happy where she's at right now. I'm going to join, please, everybody, get up and give a clap praise for the new elected city councilwoman, JoAnn Hardesty. Busy. And you know, I was telling one of the staff here, I said, she's coming back. I said, you know what? You said you were.
Of course.
And I like that answer. She did that. And now I know you're in a bubble right now,
Yes.
and we understand it, but we certainly appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
And I'm going to add something to this. Not only you are a veteran,
Yes.
you are setting history for veteran women, man. You also are the first African American, black woman, Asiatic, whichever title person choose, woman to serve on the Portland, Oregon City Council.
That is You got that right.
Yes, and we salute you.
Well, thank you. You know, that's hard for me, right?
Okay.
Because on one hand, it is something to be celebrated.
Yes.
But we've had 168 years
My goodness.
of city commissioners. And so on some part, we should be ashamed that it's taken 168 years to get a woman of color
Yes.
in a seat on the city council, right? So
Yes.
it's like, I appreciate like being the first, but you've got to say, why is that?
Why is
Why
that?
did it take so long?
Yes.
It's been 24 years since there was an African-American man on the Portland City Council. I am only the 9th woman to ever serve.
My goodness.
So we've got to ask why. You know, we can celebrate first, but we
Yeah.
sure got to say what's going on. That's the history of Portland,
Right, but you know what? It's also the history of this
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yes.
It's also the history of the United States.
Yes.
It's been a landmark movement of women. What we have 120,
New congressional women kicking butt. Yes.
43 of them
Taking
African
names.
American.
Yes. Isn't
So
that fabulous?
Oregon is setting their presence too with history.
Well,
Not
and
with-
you know that Oregon has all women leadership right now
you know what?
at the top,
Since
with the
you said-
exception of the mayor.
Since you said
City
that,
of Portland.
this is what I want to say right there. Governor Kate Brown, she just appointed the first Supreme Court Justice,
Right.
Adrienne Nelson,
Yes.
African American woman.
Yes.
We're going to give a shout out to Ted Wheeler,
Yes.
who was just appointed the first black African American Asiatic Chief of Police, Danielle Outlaw. So that speaks to the progressiveness of Oregon. Now the voters have voted
Yes.
first city council woman, African American,
Yes.
veteran, JoAnn Hardesty. So I have to repeat that because there's been some progressive things going on in Oregon.
Yes, there are.
And I wanted to give that shout out to the governor,
Yes.
also Terrell Wheeler, because those are big chess move steps that they took
Those
to
are
do what
big.
they do. And so let's get back to who JoAnn Hardesty is, because you are now, you represent the possibilities
Yes.
for the young men, women, whoever they are.
Yes.
Let's talk about what that's like, representing the possibilities for people.
Anytime young people come to City Hall, I show them my seat and I say, I'm just holding it for you.
Okay, beautiful.
Because they need to know that this is not rocket science. There's no magic in it. If you do the hard work, if you have a legacy of community service, the people will see.
Yes.
Right? So no matter what people try to tell them, people will see behind the spin and they will see the work that you've done. So if you've done the work, all you have to do is say, this is what I've done.
That's what I done.
And people can judge whether or not that's worthy. But I want every young person that walks into City Hall to
Yes.
look at me and go, I'm going to take her out.
Right.
Just like I told Dan Salzman, I'm going to take you out, right? I want them to look at me
Yes.
with that same mindset, right?
Right.
You're in my seat, and I need to remove you from that seat, right? Because they need to know that just because I'm the first, I'm the first of many that are coming behind me. So
my
I don't want them to think that this is a one-off and
Yes.
once this is over, you know, we'll go back to business as usual, because I think City Hall has been changed forever.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I like that. Now, when I blasted out that you was gonna be, I was getting all these different hits and
Right.
questions and everything. I'm gonna shoot a few of the questions to you.
Please, let me have
One
it.
of the first questions is, what was the pivotal moment in your life as a young lady to get you started in politics? We're gonna reach back now.
I was fortunate when I moved to Oregon, in fact. Before Oregon, I really didn't have that much interest in politics.
Okay.
But what I found when I moved to Oregon was just how accessible the political process was. So you didn't have to be anybody special to pick up the phone and call your state legislator or your state senator or your city commissioner, right? You could show up at city council and you could have your voice heard, and the mayor and the city council would have to sit and listen to you.
Yeah.
So in Oregon, I was like, wow, I'm from Baltimore. You know, you never get that close to elected leaders, right? And I thought, wow, this is like really cool. But the pivotal thing for me is I had the privilege of working for Beverly Stein.
Okay.
Bev Stein was the Multnomah County chairwoman. And when I went to work for her, I was one of the most reluctant employees that she ever had, I'm sure, right? Because she reached out and said, I want
Right.
to interview you for a job. And I said, really? Doing
Yes.
what? She said, well, come on in and talk to me. And ultimately, she hired me. But what I learned from her was that you could tell people the same story in every part of the city. You didn't have to know everything about everything. You just had to know people who knew a little bit more than you did and be willing to tap into that knowledge. And you could bring people together to help solve big, complex problems,
Gotcha.
right?
Right.
And I watched her for the first 2 years I worked for her and just saw her consistently just be inclusive, engage communities, tell people the truth, and stand behind hard decisions. And I was like, man, if you could be in politics and be real, maybe I could do that.
That sounds
right?
good to you.
Sound good, right?
Yes.
And so I was fortunate to be elected to the legislature
Okay.
while I was working for Bev Stein. And at that time, I was the only elected leader working for an elected leader. So her and I really had to have good communication to make sure we weren't stepping on each other's toes.
Okay.
And I loved it. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. But this time, it wasn't because I wanted to run.
Right.
I had to run. 'cause
What's
I
that
was-
moment? What's that moment? Yes.
That moment was October 2016. I show up at City Hall
Okay.
to testify on the police union contract.
To testify on the police union contract.
Right, that had been negotiated in secret, was on a fast track for passage.
Okay.
And when I showed up at City Hall, the building was surrounded by riot police.
My goodness.
Homeland Security, Portland Police, Metro, Gresham, police everywhere. And my first thought was, how many people have been prevented from coming in this building just because they see police and riot gear, right?
goodness.
And I thought, oh, heck no. So
Gotta change.
I go inside, I'm mad,
Right.
right? I go inside. And later that day, the police were ordered to push hundreds of community members out of City Hall. Children, babies, grandparents, push them out because the city council basically just didn't want to hear from the people
goodness.
that they were representing. And I thought, I don't want to live in a city where the politicians get to make big decisions and the public is totally shut out. That can't be, right? And so I went and had a conversation with then Commissioner Dan Salzman.
Okay.
Told him I was going to run for his seat. And 2 weeks later, he decided to retire.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And
That
the
was-
rest, as they say, is history.
That was that moment. That was
That
that
was the
moment.
moment. That was the moment.
Another one of the questions was, who influenced you?
Oh, it's got to be my mom and dad.
Yes, yes.
My mom and dad, I was fortunate to
What's
go.
her name?
Rose and Lee Thomas Nellums.
We glad they influenced you.
Yes.
Yes,
You
yes.
know, my mom and dad had very little education.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a longshoreman, but my parents valued education.
Gotcha.
They just thought education was the key to opening up all kinds of opportunity. And they instilled that in all 10 of their kids.
10?
10.
Woo, my
Right?
goodness.
And so now you know
Busy
why I went,
house.
Now you know why I went to the Navy, right? Because you know, wasn't enough money for all of us to go to college, right? So I had to go to the Navy. But they absolutely believed that I could do anything.
Yes.
But I also grew up in a community where I was the community's child. So, you know, it's like I didn't like it at the time.
Right.
But, you know, Miss Jones saw you walk by. What you doing
yeah.
up here, girl? Your
Right,
mom know you
right.
up here, right? So the whole community knew the community's children, knew where they were supposed to be, and had high expectations for them, right?
Right.
So today when people say, "Oh, I don't talk to other people's kids because you know you don't know what's gonna,"
Right,
I'm
yes.
like, I'm just like my mom. Hey, baby.
Right.
You know, your mama know you acting like that.
Right,
Right. And the funny thing is they'll look at you because they think you know their mama. I've
Right.
never seen them before, right? But they don't know that, right? But that sense of community, right? That sense of everybody's mother was your mother, right? And you
Right.
knew better than to talk back, right? 'Cause it was like,
Absolutely,
so
yes.
that's what I grew up with. And so I just realized how missing that is today, right?
Right.
Because we want to other everybody, right? It's like if you're not part of my clan, then you're an other. Right?
Exactly,
It's like, you know, but
Gotta
they
get
didn't do that when I was growing up.
Right. Now, this is one of my questions. And I was thinking, I said, you know, most of us here in the audience and viewing the show, when we wake up in the morning, we want less problems as possible.
Hey, man.
You don't have that.
I don't have that
opportunity.
luxury,
Our
no.
problems become your problems.
Yes, yes.
How do you separate or get through that to make it happen?
Well, you know, on one hand, I am exactly where I want to be.
Okay.
I worked hard to get this job because
You
I
work
knew.
hard.
I worked hard for the money. But I worked hard to get this job
Yes.
because I absolutely knew that there was a voice missing inside City Hall.
Yes.
And the voice that was missing was people that had to work for a living, people who were struggling to get housing, people who are struggling to get their kids to school. I mean, we have a lot of people in our community who are struggling.
Struggling, right.
Some people are doing really, really well.
Yes.
But a lot of people are working 2-3 jobs.
My goodness,
and they
yes.
still can't afford to live in the city of Portland.
Yes, yes. Now, another question I want to ask you is, you're in this bubble now.
Right.
Because that's just what the journey calls for.
Right.
How do you plan on keeping contact with the people?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. I've
You're
actually
glad I asked?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
One of the things I said when I was running for office was that I was going to have community meetings so that I could help the public understand what was happening at City Hall.
Okay.
So right now we're in budget time,
Okay.
right? We have a $6 billion budget
My
with a
goodness.
B, right?
Budget.
And budget.
Okay.
Right? And so can you imagine being the new kid on the block and they say, okay, now we're about to go over a $6 billion budget. Ready?
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm doing, my very first community meeting is going to be April 13th,
April 13th.
which is a Saturday,
Okay.
from 10 to noon at Ventura Park Elementary School. And we're calling this a People's Budget Meeting.
People's budget meeting.
Now the
Can
mayor.
you repeat that again? Because I want
Yes.
the people to get that here in audience and
Yes.
social media.
So the People Budget Meeting will be April 13th, 10 a.m. till noon at Ventura Park Elementary, located at 145 Southeast 117th Avenue.
Okay.
And so the mayor is going to have a series of budget forums.
Okay.
And most of the city council will be at many of them. So there'll be 4 scheduled already. But this one, I'm doing specifically in East Portland so that we can unpack the budget so people understand what the
Absolutely.
choices are we have.
Yes.
The reality is that out of a $6 billion budget, there's only really about $500 million that there's any flexibility in, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of money comes in because it's dedicated to certain things, like
Okay.
sewer and water, right?
Okay.
That's got to be spent on sewer and water. Permitting has to be spent in certain areas, right? So there's not a lot of flexible money, but people need to understand like what the whole budget is so they can understand how money could be moved around.
Right. Now, are these meetings going to be on a consistent basis, like every
I'm
3
gonna
months? or-
once a quarter. I'm
Once a
gonna
quarter.
have a community meeting. This one, just because it's budget time, I thought it would be really good to actually do a budget 101.
Right.
Right. But each meeting will be on some other topic. Right.
Beautiful.
But this is. I promise I would do one at least once a quarter.
Okay.
And this will be number 1.
Right. Now also, I got a couple more questions, but one of them is, we know that politics is mean-spirited.
Yes.
How are you going to get through that? That was one of the questions the viewers wanted to know.
Well, I got through mean-spirited people when I was campaigning for this seat.
Right.
And I think sometimes people think because I'm so direct that I'm mean. And I'm not mean. I'm just asking very direct questions.
Okay.
A, because I already know the answer to them. And B, I want them on the public record. So, for example, when people come to city council wanting a multi-million-dollar contract, and they say, we've got 20 to 25% MWESB, right?
Okay.
And I'll say, well, how many black people were hired? How many Latino? How many Native Americans? How many women? Right? Don't give me the alphabet soup.
Right.
I want to know specifics about
So
who
specifics,
actually
yes.
are benefiting from
Right.
these contracts. Because the city has a long history of telling us what a great job they're doing for minority and women contractors.
Right.
But when you look at the numbers, that just doesn't add up.
Don't add up.
The only people benefiting from city contracts right now are white men and women. Because on paper, white women own 51% of those businesses. So white men are really benefiting well from these programs that are supposed to be benefiting women and people of color.
Absolutely. Now,
So that's
I
just
got-
one example.
I got one more question.
Okay.
And I know you got many years left.
Oh, but let me just say, let me
Go ahead,
answer
go
your
ahead.
question. I know who I am,
Okay.
right? The people elected me to do a very specific job.
Right.
And so I represent the people. So when people try to tell me who I am,
Right.
I don't believe them. I know who I am, and I
how-
know who I represent.
That's how you're going to get there. I got one more question. I
Okay.
know you got many years left.
Yes.
What would you want your legacy to be?
So I have a legacy. My legacy will be fundamentally changing how 911 operates in the city of Portland.
Okay.
My legacy, when my first term is up, the people who respond to 911 calls will be the right first responders. We will send medical personnel to medical calls. We will send mental health professionals to mental health calls. We will no longer send on aggressive individuals to impact people who are
We're getting a
suffering
whole lot
from
of
mental
crackers
health
up in
issues.
there about that. About that. On
That will be my legacy.
on that note,
Oh.
on behalf of Straight Talk, the community, the nation, the crew here, the staff here, we'd like to present this to you.
What a sweet thing. Thank you.
We know that's we just starting here in Oregon.
I got a good spot on in my office. You got to come check out the office.
I'm there.
They have not seen.
Can
as
I bring
many
the cameras
black
with me?
people-
You
Yes,
know I
you
like
can.
travel
Oh,
with
bring it.
cameras.
Oh, yeah, bring the camera. Because there's a African American male artist named Jeremy Okaya Davis.
Okay.
I have his artwork all over my office.
Oh, beautiful.
He is an African American artist, local artist. I actually commissioned a Nina Simone portrait
Oh, my
that
goodness.
has center stage in my office.
Yes.
I'm sure they've never seen that many black people on the walls at
We're
City
gonna come
Hall.
down and capture that.
But yeah, you got to come down and check that out.
Okay. And I want to give a shout out to Barty Trophy Company.
Oh, I love that company.
Oh,
They
beautiful.
do excellent
They're
work.
like 90th year. They're like the 90th year now. So go down and say hello to them. But please read what this says to our people, to our viewing audience.
I will present it to JoAnn Hardesty, the first African American woman elected to the Portland City Council, 2019, Straight Talk TV. Hey,
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
I know-
I do
I know,
not
it
want to
is-
break
it
that
is not
thing.
light, folks.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
My pleasure.
City Councilwoman.
Yes. The first but not the last.
Say that again.
The first but not the last.
JoAnn Hardesty.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
My
thank you,
pleasure.
thank you, thank you. Right now, we're going to go over to one of the poets again. Manny.
All right.
Let's give Manny a hand. Yes.
Mother's Day is here again. Let us enjoy giving gifts, if you get my drift. They may pay for our college, but that's how we get our knowledge. They have provided brothers and sisters. They are our friends, our souls, and our loved ones. They will be there every night. And don't forget that mothers is always right. No matter what they say, be a good boy and just walk away.
And I want to welcome Pastor
Robin Franklin.
Robin Franklin in the house and Minister. Let's give
Well, came to a church and she said, as we drove to a prayer meeting together, what do you think about having a service for all women ministers?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
yes.
and I'm thinking, great idea.
Okay.
And then she said, at at 5:30 in the morning when it's because the women came to the cross while it was dark.
Yes,
And I
yes.
thought to myself, good, you go have fun with that.
Right.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Uh-huh.
We host at Hughes Memorial United Methodist Church, 111 Northeast Failing. We hosted the first ever early morning Good Friday service.
Yes.
And it came off. We had a huge crowd of people in the dark, and then it got light and we had breakfast. And so we've been doing it every year since.
Now let's get that date out so people know.
So this year, April 19th, Good Friday morning, about 5:30 in the morning, we're going to have a service again. We're featuring all women ministers because sometimes women don't get a chance to preach. And so Dr. Terrell is joining us now. How you thought about starting this service early in the morning in the dark. And we've been going strong ever since. So this coming Good Friday morning,
Yes.
we, Minister Francine and Dr. Terrell have been working on gathering women speakers.
Yes.
And each woman will have about 10 minutes to bring a word.
Okay.
This year our theme is the I am sayings of Jesus.
My
Jesus
goodness.
said a lot of things. So he said, I am bread of life. I'm water, living water. I'm the true vine.
Yes.
I'm the resurrection and the life.
Yes.
And on and on. We have some other people coming to help MC the service. And then we'll have a delicious breakfast afterwards. So
Yes.
nobody will go away hungry.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Dr. Terrell, how you doing?
I'm busy.
Yeah, I know. I had somebody go get you. I said,
Busy.
where is Dr. Terrell? I just want the people here in the audience and social media to see Dr. Terrell. And I would like you to touch on, you got an event coming up.
Yes, I do. And actually, I had gotten some phone calls,
Okay.
and I hadn't returned them.
Okay.
And so I
Yeah.
wanted to catch some of these people before past 8 o'clock because people are not very happy when you call them after 8 o'clock.
Okay.
But working, just let me say this, as a woman of God, a long time. This
Yes.
is my 60th year.
Oh, my
in the Lord.
goodness.
Not being saved. I'm talking about 60th year working actively
Yes.
in the Lord. And so God gave me that about women doing so much early in the morning. It was dark when
It
women
was
went
dark.
Yes.
They were walking on rock. I had a good chance to go to Israel.
Uh-huh.
And there are rocks.
Right.
A lot of rocks. You know, they were walking barefooted.
Yes.
And in the dark.
Yes.
And I don't know if I could do that with the snakes. And
Right.
oh my God. So, you know, and I started meeting people when I came here. And I met some beautiful women. And I said, hey, y'all, let's do, you know, and I tell you, ever since then, it's our 5th year, is it not?
I believe it's the fifth year, yeah.
I mean, at 5 o'clock in the morning, how do you get people to come to church at 5 o'clock
Absolutely.
in the morning?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
come.
we have almost 75 to 100 people in her church.
Yeah.
And they just be preaching and singing. And afterwards we fellowship. So this has been going on for 5 years, and we got some great women going to speak. Did you tell them about the great
Yeah.
women?
I
Yes,
haven't mentioned the ladies
Oh,
yet.
we've
They're
got
coming.
some great speakers, and people are just saying yes.
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 Yes. They want to be a part of
Yes,
it.
yes.
Absolutely.
All
yes.
different churches.
And all different churches,
All
all different
denominations.
churches.
All the denominations.
Not just Baptist or Pentecostal, no.
Well,
it's a whole-
I want to say this now.
Everybody.
It's at 5:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say. Look, we're gonna see if we can get a camera there.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's a beautiful event.
And we be
You won't
praising
be
God.
disappointed.
It just
5:30 in the
be
morning.
Lit up at 5:30 in the morning.
I had to think
praising the
about
Lord,
that, y'all.
raising your hand unto God in memory of how that
Yeah.
woman went to that tomb.
To that tomb, yes.
Looking.
Yes.
Looking by herself.
By
You
herself.
scared? I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But women are strong.
Yes,
Women
they
are
are.
strong.
And so anyway, it's a wonderful event.
Now you got another event going
Yes,
on.
I
That's why I
do,
saw
and
she's busy.
I was
yes.
on the phone. I am so sorry. I got carried away. As you know, I'm president and CEO of the Dr. Audrey Terrell Institute.
Yes.
And that we
Let's give you a clap on that because that is helping so many of our young people.
Oh, my
I mean, you
God.
got a young person over in Africa right now.
yes,
Visiting.
yes.
You have one in Kansas City that's down
Yes.
in New Orleans or somewhere helping with the flood victims.
Yes, I have one there too.
Yes.
She took her break
Yes.
And she went down, no, she went to Houston.
Houston, okay.
Kavina Davis to
Yes.
work to help with those people that have been in Hurricane Harvey. They still not straight down there.
Right. Let's give a shout out for the young lady over, because she's
Amen.
Facebooking over in
Yes.
Africa.
Yes. Oh yeah, Benicia.
Benicia, yeah.
She's in. Got a girl. Got in Africa.
Africa.
Benicia Deadman.
Yes.
And another one. I have a young lady at Michigan State.
Michigan State.
And I was looking at Michigan State at the basketball games
Uh-huh.
and stuff, and I saw she's a cheerleader.
Right.
And I've been having her much longer. She was my first one years ago.
Okay.
And working with them through high school, through college, the mentorship,
Right.
the phone calls, the couple of dollars, the how you doing,
Right.
showing up.
Helped out.
Help out. So the
Yes.
4th year, so Division
Yes.
One.
Okay.
And a big Division 2. Division 1 is all those kids that are in college.
Okay.
I got one is a graduate student at USC.
Okay.
He graduated cum laude from
What's his name?
Jose Scott.
Cum laude.
Cum laude.
Oh my goodness. That's
And
that's
when he
straight.
comes home in the summer, he works with Data.
Yes.
When I'm working with the students, taking them to Tacoma or wherever we gotta go, he drives because he's
Yeah.
an older guy.
Yes.
And he talks to the other younger ones that's in high
Absolutely.
school. Oh my God! But I love it.
Now we got away from the event at Park
Yes.
Rose.
Now this is what we do once a year.
Okay.
This is our 4th
Uh-huh.
annual DATAG of the Dr. Audrey Terrell Institute Awards Luncheon.
Yes.
We give an award out to 2.
Okay.
We've been doing it to 1, but now we got a college set. We got to do 2 now.
2 oh my
and we
goodness.
got 2 students that we chose to give them. We're selling raffle tickets and this event to come so we can give them something
Yes.
along the way. And let me just add this.
Please do.
As a why you say why are you doing this, Dr. Terrell?
Yes.
Are you getting money? No, it's what is a part of me. My parents, I lost my father.
Yes.
He left 8 children here, my brothers and sisters.
Our condolences
The
to you,
oldest
yeah.
one was 15 when he died.
Okay.
Then 7 years later, our mother died, and the oldest one
Oh, my
was
goodness.
21. So people helped us.
Yes. Yes.
People helped us. I mean, not all the time, mom and them, grandma, auntie. No, it was just people we would run into that
Right.
would help us along the way. And we all would be all of us are doing fine where other people had helped us. So now I'm trying to give back. And the event is April the 6th.
April 6th,
at
okay.
Saturday,
okay.
Saturday, April 6th at Park Rose Middle School.
Okay.
At 11:30 to 1:30. It's called the Dr. Audrey Terrell Annual Awards Luncheon. If you can, come by. Encourage those kids and be a part of their lives because they're going to grow up to be presidents
Absolutely.
and governors.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that.
Now, some of the speakers that's going to be joining you.
Yes, some of the speakers I have is Dr. Jessica Taylor. She is the head of diversity and inclusion at Melanoma University.
Okay.
And the mayor found out about us, the mayor of Vancouver.
Yes.
She said, I want to come and speak. So we're going to have Mayor Ann Oldie. She's going to come and speak for us to encourage them to be all they can be.
Yes.
And we are there pushing and encouraging. So I'm excited about it. It
Well,
keeps
we
me
can
really
feel
busy.
it. We can feel it.
Oh, yeah, it
And
keeps me
joining
real
you
busy.
is Minister Francine.
Yes.
How you just ready to get this event going too, huh?
I've been
Come on.
I've
Say
been-
a few words with us.
I've been on the phone, I've been on the internet, I've been on
Bless you.
texting.
Yes,
I've been
yes.
putting things together behind the scenes.
Yes.
And I like it like that in
Yes.
a way.
Uh-huh.
And everything that I put together. Now all we have is 2 more women to go. We're going to have 8 speakers.
Oh,
so
my
we'll
goodness.
have 2 women left to go.
Oh my goodness.
I've already given them the information. They sent it to me, and a couple of them didn't want to do that at
Yes.
first. And I told them, I said, well, you need to get in touch with me to get, I said, I can't do the email. I said, because I no longer have a computer nor a laptop.
Okay.
So we have to do this via text.
Right.
And I give them the information that way. I had I had one person say, can I get back with you later? Sure you can. Just what time are you talking about later?
Right.
Because if you're talking about something early in the morning, I'll get back with you in the afternoon.
Right.
But most of everything has been good and all positive. So we have everything set up. They talked to me into making
They talk you into it.
they talked me into making some what is that? Sausage gravy?
Biscuits and
Biscuit-
gravy.
biscuits and
Right
gravy.
After this worship service, we're going to have biscuits and gravy.
So y'all can work up. That's a special. That's a
Yes.
specialty here.
Yes.
Well, please say the events. Both of you are pastor. One more time, so the people
Okay.
know. And Dr. Terrell, your event
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Pastor,
Okay,
please.
this is the Women at the Cross.
Yes.
Early morning, Good Friday worship celebration
It's a celebration.
on April 19th,
19.
5:30.
5:30 a.m.
Yes.
at Hughes Memorial United Methodist Church,
Right.
111 Northeast Failing Street.
A couple of your speakers
A couple of the speakers
that's going to be there.
who are going to be there.
Christy Darren's going to
Pastor Christy Darren is coming over
Yes.
from West Portland.
Okay.
First Lady Beth Schreiber is going to sing and preach.
Sing and
preach.
preach.
Beth Schreiber,
Ooh,
and
y'all might have
we've
church up
got
in there.
2 ministers.
No.
Come on.
No.
She said, come help them out.
Zena McGee, Minister Zena McGee is going to be preaching. There's a couple more, but you'll have to wait and come and
So
see.
they're going to say, she said, y'all got to wait. Y'all got to come and be there. Dr. Terrell,
Come and see.
your event one more
and
time.
the event that I'm president and CEO of the Data Institute, the event is April the 6th, Saturday, April 6th at 11:30 at Park Rose Middle School. And the keynote speakers will be Dr. Jessica Taylor of Melanoma University, and it will be the mayor. Everybody come out and meet the mayor of Vancouver.
Yes.
The first ever mayor, female mayor of Vancouver. She's excited about us, but anyway. She will be there to be one of our keynote speakers. And the theme is women with a passion, women with a plan, and women with a purpose.
Well, you heard it. Let's give him a hand.
All right.
We're going to close out. Make sure you get out and get those events. We're going to close
Honoring
out.
of my father,
Okay.
who recently passed last year. And it's only right because he's the one that gifted me the storytelling and the writing.
Okay.
The gift of that, and so and this is my way of honoring him. It's called Patrick Thomas Spriggs. I feel you. You never left me. This is our journey, isn't it? Haven't we always felt our brotherhood? From guttural beginning, empty belly expelling resonance. We are doing this together. We have never not done this together. Your echoes ring truly in my blood, magnetizing all that we know we can be and are. Pops, your death is not one-dimensional, and what I am feeling is not all sadness, and my confusion is not all that unpredicted. How long it took for our closeness to reveal does not negate the greatness of our belonging. Emanation from you. Polarity, heat, breath, silence. My face and vocal cords, my thinking, my woes, my weeping, and jubilee. Thank you, Pops. Thank you for your ceaseless faith and our ever-beginning encroaching closeness. I am your posterity, and I honor you through now. Manifest. I love you, Pops. Thank you.
Hey, now, Manny, did you have another one about Manny? Let's give a clap for Manny. We got the poets up in the house tonight. We're going to share your gifts with us. Yeah, come on. You have one about
It's called Portland weather.
There you go, Portland weather.
This Portland weather makes birds lose its last feather. Will Portland weather ever unfold? This summer may be hot or cold. Cooking outside on this old-fashioned pot, drinking an ice cold beer as people in Portland start to cheer. We watch the hot sun go down.
Yeah, we do.
In this beloved old-fashioned town. The party will not stop until this crazy weather starts to hop.
Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Manny. Thank you, Manny.
I
Pastor
just want
Robinson?
everybody to, come out and support women.
Yes.
Yes.
Women's ministers.
Yes.
We have so many of them out there, and they don't always get a chance to preach.
Yeah, just support one another.
Yes.
We're about love. That's the definition of love. Support, encourage, smile, be nice, and it's a beautiful world, Yes, it's a lot's going on, but we can make a difference individually of how we treat one another.
Yeah.
So encourage one another.
Pastor Robinson, come
All
on.
right. I just want to say thank you again for
Oh,
having
you
us.
know I'm honored.
And
I'm
God
honored,
bless
yes.
you. And
Yes.
thank you for letting us come and share. And we do want to extend an open invitation. It says
Yes.
open signal. This open invitation
Yes.
because everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome.
Yes.
You heard it from the ladies. Everyone support these guys, to the audience here and to America. Thanks, everybody. Remember, Straight Talk is the only way.